All right, guys, go ahead and let's write in our table of contents, number 4, dividing whole numbers. Remember, you have a quiz on Monday/Tuesday over your vocabulary. Go ahead and push pause and write that down. Okay, now, let's go ahead. You should have your vocabulary next, then your addition subtraction notes, then your multiplication notes. Now we're on division of whole numbers. Now what I want you to do is go ahead, copy this, everything on this page into your spiral, into your math notebook, and then we'll start. All right. Real quick, we need to talk about our vocabulary. Number 1, your dividend. This says dividend is being divided by your divisor, which is the quotient. Your dividend is in the house. The dividend is always in the house. The divisor needs a visor because it's so bright outside. All right? Now your dividend is your total. Your total is always being divided by your parts or pieces. Your quotient is your queen who sits upon the throne. It's your answer to the division problem. So it's total divided by your parts or pieces gives you the quotient. Your dividend is being divided by your divisor, which is your quotient. Over here, your dividend is being divided by your divisor. Your total is being divided by your parts or pieces. Now that's a fraction. Your fraction bar is the same thing as division, and that will be your quotient. Or your dividend, or your total, is being divided by your divisor, or your parts or pieces, which gives you the quotient. Go ahead and get all of that in your notes, please. All right, now, let's go ahead and write these words in. Now, make sure you pause this. These are words you need to know when you're dividing. You're going to look for the average per one or for one, each week, each day, each row, each year. You're looking for 1 week, 1 day, 1 year, 1 row. Or you're given the total, which is your dividend, but you need to find the part, which is your divisor. All right, go ahead and push pause. All right, now that we know what words to look for, let's do a problem. Now notice I have some boxes over here. It helps me keep everything straight. You could also turn your paper sideways and have your lines going downwards, and you can put the numbers in between each lines. It's your choice. Now, let's go ahead and read the problem. It says there are 2,898 seats in an auditorium. Each of the 23 rows in the auditorium has the same number of seats. How many seats are in each row? Oh, I'm singing ding, ding, dinger right here. First, let's underline our question. How many seats are in each row? And my ding, ding, dinger is right here. That's each. Remember, when we're looking for each row, that's telling you division. That means I'm now going to be looking for my dividend or my total, and I'm going to be looking for my parts or pieces. So let's see if we can find who's our total. Well, there are 2,898 seats in an auditorium. There's my total seats. There's your total. Each of the 23 rows, well, there's my parts. There's my divisor. That's my parts. Now, so who's your total? 2,898 dividing by your parts, which is 23. Now your total is your dividend. It always goes inside the house. So let's go ahead and write it. Now notice I'm going to put them inside of the boxes, 898. And I'm going to divide that. That's my dividend. Total is always inside. Divided by 23. All right. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to get a sheet of paper. I want you to get a sheet of paper. And what we're going to do is you're going to cover up your dividend. And then we're going to move it one place to the right. We're going to go step by step. Now, we want to look at this. We want to see how many 23 is going to 2. Now, before I begin that, I want to remind you, of division, of the rules. Now, first of all, when you're dividing, first you divide, then you multiply, then you subtract, then you bring it on down. It on down. Okay? So let's look at it. We're going to first divide. Can I divide 2 by 23? Can I take 2 people and put it in 23 sections? Oh, so that's going to be a 0. Now, I just divided. Now I'm going to multiply. What's 0 times 23? Well, 0 times 23 is 0. So I'm going to subtract 0. So I just divided, multiply, subtracted. Now, subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Now I'm going to bring it on down. I'm going to bring down my 8 right beside the 2. So now all I'm doing is I'm breaking up that big long 2,000 number into pieces. Now let's think about it. Can I take 28 people and put them into 23 groups? Well, yeah, it's going to be only one person in his group, but it's okay. How many times does 23 go into 28? Well, it doesn't go into it evenly, but it'll get close. He goes into it one time. I just divided 28 by 23 and I got 1. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 23 is 23. Now I'm going to subtract. 28 minus 23 is 5. Now I'm going to bring it on down. 9. Now, how many times does 23 go into 59? Well, some of you already know it's 2 times. But if you didn't know, look, there's a shortcut. I'm going to cover up that last digit of the 59. And I'm going to cover up that last digit of the 23. And I'm just going to look at the 2 and the 5. How many times does 2 go into 5? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. That's too big, so 2 times 2. Well, guess what, guys? That just helped us figure out how many times 23 goes into 59. 23 times 2 gives me 46. So I'm going to put a 2 there. Subtract 46, and I'm going to get 13. Now I'm going to bring down my last number, the 8. Now, how many times does 23 go into 138? I have not a clue. So, changed that color, didn't I? That's funny. All right, we're just going to leave it at that. And I'm going to cover up that last digit, the 8. I'm going to be left with 13. Now I should cover up the 3. Now think, how many times does 2 go into 13? Well, 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 is too big. So we're going to go with 6. So we're going to try 23 times 6. And I'm going to get 6 times 3 is 18. Carry my 1. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Whoa! 138. 138. So guess how many times 23 goes into 138? 6 times. So I'm going to subtract 138, and I am at 0. Now the cool thing is this. Watch. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in my dividend. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits in my quotient. So let's answer the question. How many seats are in each row? There are 126 seats in each row. Pretty easy. All right? Okay. Pause it. Make sure you got that on your paper, please. All right, here's our next question. It says there are 600 students at Pine Mountain Middle School. They're going on a field trip. Each bus can hold 45 students. All right. Now look at we got 3 questions. How many of the buses will be full? How many kids will be left at the school? And how many buses will we totally need? Oh boy. All right. So we got to figure out how many buses we're going to need. All right. So, well, let's think. I need how many buses? So I've got to take 600 and I'm going to divide it up by 45 students. So 600 is my total students, right? There's my total, or my dividend. And the pieces, or the parts, are my 45 students. Those are your pieces or parts. So I'm going to go ahead and put 600 divided by 45. All right, now, so let's go ahead and do it. Let me get my paper. I'm going to go step by step. All right, let's do it. 45 goes into 6. How many times? 0. It doesn't go into 6. You can't break up 6 into 45 sections. That's silly. 6 minus 0 is 6. Now I'm going to bring down my 0. Oh, I did it again. 45 goes into 60. Well, if you don't know, cover the last digit of the 60, cover the last digit of the 45. How many times does 4 go into 6? Well, 2 is 8. That's too big. So 4 times 1. So let's do 45 times 1. So 45 times 1 is 45. So I'm going to subtract 45. I'm going to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. All right, I got 15. That's good. Less than 45, so I'm good. Now I'm going to bring down my last 0. All right. Now, I need to know how many 45s go into 150. I have no clue. So I'm going to cover up that last digit. Boom. And I'm going to cover up the last digit of the 45. How many 4s go into 15? Well, 4 times 4 is 16. That's too big. So how about 4 times 3? Well, let's try 45 times 3. 45 times 3 is 15. 12 plus 1 is 13. That's going to give me close enough. 3. That's going to be 100. Subtract. Oh, what am I doing? Subtract 135. I got confused there. Got a line there. That's why I got confused. Now I'm going to subtract. And I've got 5. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. If I've got 600 kids, and each bus holds 45 kids, I'm going to need 13 buses. But see that 15 down here? That 15 is how many students are left at the school. How would you like to be one of those students left at the school? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be left at the school. I want to go on the field trip. Now this says I'm going to need 13 buses. But I have 15 kids left over. Do you think I'm going to need 13 buses? No. I'm going to need another bus. I'm going to need one more bus for these 15 kids. So I'm going to have 13 full buses. I'll have 13 full buses. But how many kids are going to be left at the school? 15 kids will be left. We don't want to leave them. So how many buses will we totally need? Well, 13 are full. I'm going to have 15 kids left over. I'm going to need another bus. So we will need 14 buses. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have those 2 problems in your notes. We're going to do more practice tomorrow. All right, have a great day.